YouTube friends. Oh man, it's so hot this weekend and this week. I went out garage sailing this weekend. Well, in New York City, it's really a sidewalk sale because people sell out on their sidewalks, but not everyone knows what a sidewalk sale is. It's a garage sale. It's people selling, and sometimes you can find really cool stuff. The only problem is I'm in New York City, so when people set up, there's hundreds of people walking by, so it's rare to be the first one to check out these sales to get the good stuff. But I did pretty good this weekend. I went to one of my favorite junk stores and they had just gotten a new shipment of stuff, so that's where I did really well. I feel like I almost had a heat stroke on the way home though, but it was worth it. Start out with, well, on Saturday I noticed that there was a sale, or my wife found a flyer for a sale that was pretty close to me, so I figured I would go to that, see what they had. And I picked up these 4 Kid Robot Futurama guys for $1 a piece. I couldn't believe, I mean, they're a little bit dirty, but you know, once I get a magic eraser on them, a little bit of soap, I should be able to clean them up. I got that guy. Got Morbo. Got this Slurm. But the thing is, the guy told me that he had a whole bunch more Futurama stuff, and he had sold it right away. So I was just like, but he still had these 4 for $1 a piece, so I didn't totally strike out. At the same sale, I also got this really cool Adventure Time Encyclopedia book. It was $2. So I was really happy to get that. It looks really cool inside. So I spent $3 at that sale. I know I missed out on a little bit, but I'm happy with what I got. Then I walked around and I was looking for other sales. I couldn't find anything else. So I decided to go to my favorite junk store, and I walked in and I noticed that they had a bin of a bunch of old magazines and some treasury size comic books. I was like, well, I don't really want to look at treasuries right now. Let me look in the back, see if they have regular comics. So I went in the back and I dug through all their bins. There really wasn't too much there. Let's see what I grabbed. I grabbed 2 comics from the back. I mean, usually they're Ibaka Comic. I grabbed Hulk 377. I wish it was the later printing. But, you know, for $1, I figured I'd grab it. And I got this 27 comic book. It just looked cool. I don't know anything about it. I just like the large format image comic. So I figured for $1, I'll read it, check it out, see if I like it. The artwork inside looked pretty cool. Then I went to the front and I saw that the guy was, he was digging through all these boxes of comics. I guess they had just bought 300 count boxes. I asked, are those for sale? Or are you still going through them? He's like, yeah, they're for sale. I'm going through them. He was pulling out Playboys out of them. And I guess they kind of know what they have, so their prices aren't like for free or $1 for something worth something. But you know, you can get some pretty cool stuff for maybe 1/3 of the value. So you know, I started digging through the boxes looking for anything really cool, and the first thing that caught my eye was a Heavy Metal #3. Now it's not in the best shape. The cover is not detached, but it's like ripped at the staples. But I love the old heavy metal magazines. Love Mobius artwork. I thought that was cool. I didn't know what the prices were, so I started working up a pile of stuff. Then I found this really cool looking Secret Wars. None of these were in bags, so I have to bag and board them all. And so, you know, everything got a little bit beat up. I guess they were just thrown in a box over the years. This one's actually not in too bad shape. It's like a fine, maybe. But I thought it was cool. It had all these little stickers in it. I guess the use a sponge or you lick them or whatever. But that's my childhood right there. So I thought that was really cool. Then I found this guy. Now this is really cool. I'm going to have to shout out the Mercenaut on this one. I didn't know anything about this comic. Now it's kind of wrinkled because it was jammed into a regular comic box with boxes on top. But there's no, well, let me show you. It's a Mr. A. Right to Kill Steve Ditko comic. Now it's kind of wrinkled and crunched up a little bit, but there's no major tears or anything. So I think if you press this out, this will look really good. It'll become a nice find. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then let's see, I kept digging, and I found a superhero merchandise catalog from the 70s. I love collecting these. They're fun. They have just these old illustrations for all kinds of old toys. Like these Mego figures are really cool. Then I found Howard the Duck number 13 in pretty good shape. That's first appearance at Kissing Comics. So that's kind of a key issue. I thought that was cool. I saw a lot of, they had a lot of junky comics in there, and there's a big run of Spawn. But I did find Spawn 9, the first appearance of Angela. So I thought that was really cool. And I found a Howard the Duck magazine, number 8. What a great cover. These are cool. I love 70s Marvel magazines. They always have such great painted, illustrated covers. So I'll pick up any of those whenever I find them. Just a handful of Spider-Man comics. Now this is not in the best shape, maybe a fine. Got that one. Was that 208, 228, 222, and 305. McFarlane cover. And then I grabbed a couple, they had, so I was looking through those bins, and I kind of had to wait for the guy to go through them first. And so I looked at, they also had some comics in their display cabinet. So I pulled some stuff out of there. I pulled out a X-Men 125. Again, most of these are in like fine condition, fine plus. They're not mint or anything because they were not in bags, but you know, good enough. I'm happy with them. X-Men Annual number 3. And then, so I went back to looking through the... Alright, so there's a few more things I'll show you, but I'm going to show you after. So basically, I got all that plus 4 more items for 50 bucks. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Especially if you're going to see the next few items I got. You'll think that's a great deal. And then after that, I'm going to go skip ahead a little bit. I had 65 bucks in my pocket, so I was like, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of what I have. So I looked through one other stack of comics. They had some older comic books. And I pulled out these 4. This cool illustrated story of prehistoric animals. I thought that looked really cool. Move the camera down so we can see. And then I need to get my Silver Age bags and boards out. I got Space Adventures. I'm not sure what issue that is, but I love old sci-fi illustrated covers. And then Classics Illustrated Jets and Missiles. And then the last one was NASA Stone Age Warrior. I'm not sure what number that is. So I thought those looked kind of cool. I was hoping he would do like maybe 10 bucks for the 4. And he said 15 bucks. I was like, but you take 10? He's like, no, I could probably get more than this online. I know they don't sell online, but that, you know, that's a standard thing. So I was like, all right, can you throw in a couple more comics? So I grabbed a Little Lotta number 94 and a Silver Age DC comic Morseco Origins number 8. So he gave me those 6 comics for 15 bucks. So those are pretty cool. I mean, this whole stack of, I love older comics like that. That's super awesome. Now back to the original pile. Now, what you've seen already is probably worth paying the 50 bucks for. Oops. Let me put these down. These are falling. Okay, so I was looking in the cabinet. He did have a bunch of the treasuries, but they had to mark 10 bucks a piece. And treasuries, I'm not going to pay $10 for, unless it's any of the special ones. Now, I was hoping they had the Muhammad Ali versus Superman, which they didn't have, but they did have Superman versus Spider-Man. And that's what I definitely want. I have 50 or 60 different treasuries, so there's only a few that I need left, the more expensive ones. So this one, I think there's a Hulk versus Superman. Also grabbed Spectacular Spider-Man. And then, okay, now this is where the story gets a little bit interesting. I was digging through all the comics, and I found this one magazine really beat up, terrible condition. but it was the Marvel Preview Presents Star-Lord number 11. Second appearance of Star-Lord. So I was really excited for that. I was like, okay, I don't have a copy. It's really beat up. If he'll give it to me for $1 or $2, I'll take it. And hopefully they have the other, 2 that we want. Now, they didn't have number 4, but they had number 7. Number 7. I was like, oh, that's one I really wanted. That was, holy grail moment. Now, it wasn't in any bags or anything. The back is a little bit dirty because it's not been protected. I put it in this top loader to protect it now. It's a solid find, though. I was so happy to find that. So when I was calculating, I was like, that alone is worth me paying $50. It's $150 comic. So he wanted $50 just for those 2 treasuries, those and all those other comic books I showed you. Oh man, my mind is blown. I had such a good weekend comic wise. It's not every weekend you find such key issues at a good price. So that was, I call that a success. Now, after that, I walked home. I had to walk, I think the store is like 2 miles from my house, so I had to walk 2 miles. It was so hot. I used all my money like an idiot, so I didn't have any money to grab anything to drink. So walking home, I got so dehydrated, and I had such a headache, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Let me get home so I can enjoy it. I don't want to kill myself because I got such a great deal. But I got home, I was so excited. I was showing all my friends. And then, let's see. So I was excited from that. I kind of wanted to go back to the store to dig some more because they had more stuff, but it was too hot Sunday. But I still had to go out of the house, and I found another sale. Now, I collect fashion magazines. I like looking for European or Japanese fashion magazines the most, or just something that's a little bit harder or rarer to find. And there's one sale, this lady had stuff at Ibaka Piece. So I grabbed some good stuff. I grabbed 2 CR fashion books. Number 1 and number 4. I think number 1 goes for $20 to $40 on eBay. And number 4 is probably like $20, $15, $20. And these are really cool. They're these big, thick fashion books that are just all fashion, no editorial. And they're just and then they're double-sided, so you have to flip it over. Very cool. So they decided for $1 a piece. I was excited to find those. And then she had so she had 3 issues of Love magazine. I never really heard of it, but it's a UK fashion magazine. She had that one. That one I think goes for $15 to $20 on eBay. Again, it's just a lot of great fashion photography in it. It's a slick, glossy cover, so it's quality. It looks awesome. Number 6. It's another $15 to $20 issue. Now, I love buying awesome fashion magazines like this, but I never pay eBay prices. $1 is the max I pay. And I found a lot of really expensive collectible fashion magazines. And then issue 1, I think this one goes for as much as $40 to $50. Again, just a lot of great fashion photos. So I had a good weekend. I got a bunch of really cool fashion magazines. I added a lot of cool key issues to my comic collection. I got a couple cool toys. And I'm happy. If I could find stuff like that every weekend, I'd be a thrilled person. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see if there's anything you want me to look for. I try to pick up anything cool, but maybe there's some stuff that I don't know about that I should be trying to find. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!